Kenya's hospitality industry sits at a pivotal moment. As one of East Africa's key tourism markets, the country is balancing strong leisure demand with growing ambition in business travel, MICE tourism, and long-term investment. At the same time, questions around infrastructure, policy alignment, and competitiveness are shaping what the next chapter of growth will look like. Joining us to unpack this landscape is Mike Macharia, Chief Executive Officer of the Kenya Association of Hotel Keepers and Caterers. As the leading voice representing Kenya's hotel and catering industry, Mike works closely with governments, investors, and operators to strengthen the sector and position Kenya more competitively on the global stage. In this episode of FHS Podcast, we explore the realities of Kenya's hospitality market, the role of tourism in driving international arrivals, and what it will take to unlock sustainable growth in the years ahead. Mike, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you very much, Roy. It's good to be here. I think it's still morning in you where you are. We've just hit past midday here, so I should say good morning.
Yes, so, and indeed, we really appreciate you taking the time to chat to us, especially as we're bringing Africa's leading hospitality investment events to your doorstep, to Nairobi on the 31st of March and the 1st of April. So really great to chat to you and just kind of get your insights into the Kenya market. So if you wouldn't mind, please just give us an overview of what's happening in the Kenyan and East African market in terms of international arrivals, regional market, that kind of thing.
Yeah, thank you very much, Roy. First of all, we are very excited that FHS is coming back here. I was part of the committee that planned the previous one. I think must be about 8 to 10 years back. I don't remember when. But a lot has happened since. On the international front, we've had a lot of new hotels open up in and around Nairobi and in the safari circuits. I think over the last 10 years, we've seen an influx of about 50 brand new hotels in Nairobi alone, and good quality ones, most of them bearing international brand names. Now, from a perspective of arrivals, we've moved from 1.2 million to close to 2 million international arrivals over the last few years. And this has happened mainly post-COVID. From 2023 onwards, we've seen a good trend of international arrivals. We've also seen growth in the domestic market, which is mainly attributed to COVID-19. It's actually the silver lining that came out of COVID-19. We've been trying to push the domestic product for many years, and we needed just that one little spur to move things, and it happened. So we are seeing around 700 to 800,000 domestic tourists moving around Kenya, and the number should rise. We've also seen growth in regional travel, and this is mainly attributed to the work that we did from 2014 with the East African Tourism Platform, where we set out to market Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania as one regional block. Then we added on Rwanda and Burundi, and DR Congo, South Sudan, and Ethiopia are coming into the fray. So it's a big market with a potential of about 25 million travelers intra-region. So if we target about 10% of that, it would easily double our numbers without even reaching out to the external source markets. But the plan is to attack both the regional market, actually the three, the regional, the domestic, and the traditional source markets, particularly Europe and the US. So yeah, we are seeing an upward trajectory in terms of numbers, also in terms of spend, and this is very, very interesting. So FHS could not have come at a better time.
So in terms of that, I think that's been the case for many African markets where post-COVID there's been a major rebound in terms of regional and domestic market. I saw recently that Kenya is also looking at increasing its inbound tourism numbers or to 5.5 million by the year 2027. Does that include the regional market or international market? Because I know there are a couple of really great developments in the pipeline with Kenya's tourism rebrand task force that's been established. I'm hoping at some stage to do a bit of a deep dive on that tourism rebrand with one of the senior members from the task force. But at the moment, am I correct in saying that Kenya is looking to rebrand itself as a destination beyond the safari market? What's in the pipeline in terms of that?
Okay, the discussions we are having with government, and this is one of the reasons why I could not join the podcast early. I had a 10 o'clock meeting with a team that's driving the conference and incentives sector, the MICE area. So the government's plan, the short-term plan of 5.5 million, will mainly be driven by investing in meetings, incentives, and conferences, and to some extent exhibitions. As we speak, the government is putting up a major facility south of Nairobi. It's known as the Bomas of Kenya. It used to be a traditional place where you would go and see the various different cultures, but it's converting now into a full convention center with 2 hotels, conferencing, a bit of sporting facilities. Roads are being built in and around there, and it's set to drive the business in Nairobi. But that's just Nairobi alone. We're still looking at pushing up our leisure product. That's the government is very keen not to ignore the traditional safari and beach product, which is the main anchor product for Kenya as we try and move to other areas. There's also sports tourism. Right now, the government is building a new stadium in Nairobi, still on the south part, by some strange coincidence, very close to the convention center. And we are seeing the government committing more and more to sports like golf. Our annual Open, Kenya Open, which takes place in a couple of weeks, is part of the DP World Tour. So we've got that. We've got athletics. We've got football. There's rugby. We do very well on the 7th circuit. And there's hockey and cricket. So we think that the government is actually trying to put all these products together, even the non-traditional tourism products like sports, and we think it's a good plan. So I'm a member of the MICE task force, and this is where we're trying to see how we can raise numbers. But there's also a lot of other macro areas that we have to look at. We do have to rebuild our airport to handle more aircraft. We do have to open up 1 or 2 other airports within the country. We have now flights from Western Kenya directly into Uganda, which is a first. So we're looking at convincing more airlines to fly into Nairobi, scheduled airlines and charters. And we're also looking to convince our very own Kenya Airways to expand its network and bring in more tourists. So it's going to be a very interesting time between now and 2027 to look at the developments, and everything points to an upward trend. Troy.
So obviously the airport has been a major discussion point. If you build the hotels and the lodges and the convention centers, and you've got this massive increase, potentially actually more than doubling your tourism numbers by 2027 plan. The question is in capacity, not only in terms of hospitality infrastructure capacity, but also the capacity to handle those tourists coming in. What is there anything exciting in the pipeline? Any new developments for that airport? What are the plans for your major and regional international airline hubs?
Our airport, Roy, is actually, the plans were first mooted in 2003 to expand that airport. And the former president, Mwai Kibaki. And it hit a snag when the new government came in, and then hit another snag when there was change of government. So we are about 20 years too late in developing that airport. And the biggest issue with the airport has been the financing model of the investment in infrastructure. But now the government seems to be finding ways of investing. There's talk of asking the National Pension Scheme to invest in the rebuild of that airport, and that would be an excellent idea, because then you give interest to the pensioners. You have a social impact project that will bring you more tourists, and you're able to raise funds from it. So it's an excellent idea, and we are supporting the government in that. And we do believe that once that is realized, then we should start seeing a bit more interest from the airlines. The other thing that the government is doing is that it's committed heavily to the road infrastructure and rail. As we speak, the connection to the western part of Kenya is a nightmare, and simply because it's an old road, cars are multiplied along that road. The government is making a plan to dual the entire road. I think 170 to 180 kilometers down towards Western Kenya. And that is being done again in conjunction with the National Pension Scheme and a Chinese pension provider. So what will happen then is that, because the works have already started on that road, so what will happen is that we are bound to see more and more hotels and restaurants popping up along that highway or in close proximity. And that will release the pressure on Nairobi, driving all the investments. The other thing that is happening is right from where the road begins, there is a ring road that takes you round to the convention center. So it will be easy to access both from the airport, from the highways, and as a connection to the western part of Kenya. So this is a good time for anyone who would like to invest in brick and mortar, in hotels and restaurants along that road. And for sure, it's going to be a game changer. There's more roads that are being planned, and the rail line right now goes up to just a certain point on the western part of Kenya, and there's plan to have a high-speed railway crossover to Uganda, and then the Ugandans will pick it up from their end. So you can see the connectivity on infrastructure and communication is something that will improve the numbers here, right?
That's very interesting. So actually, my next question was specifically around investment. So, investor confidence is critical for hotel developments, and when you're talking about hospitality development, it extends far beyond that. It's air access, road access, connectivity, which is really exciting to hear that Kenya has a couple of projects in the pipeline that will feed into that. What I actually want to say in terms of the investors that you're looking to attract beyond the investors that are already involved, what kind of signals are investors looking for before committing capital to the Kenyan markets? I know you've mentioned a couple of critical issues, but what else is it that needs to tick the investor's box before they say, we're ready to commit to this project?
First of all, Roy, it's the environment. Is this a good environment for doing business? And that's the first thing that the investors would look at. And given what has gone on over the last 20 years, in 2003, we only had 2 international hotel names here. That was the Hilton in the city center and the Intercontinental. Right now, everybody is here. The entire Accor group is here. You name it, Wyndham, Marriott, Radisson, Park Inn, The Hilton itself has come in with the 3 other brands, a Collection and a DoubleTree, and a Garden. We have even interest from operators from the Far East like Agile. So everybody is here. Fairmont, anyone you can think about. And that's just within a space of 20 years. So that shows that there's a lot of confidence in the destination. And we still get a lot of requests by people asking, is there anything available to buy? Can we come and invest? Is there land available? So the government has created one department known as the Kenya Investment Company, Ken Invest. And this is the one that makes it easy for them. The next thing is predictability. Is there a major shift in policy happening? We had a big issue with taxation within the last 2 governments. Granted that the government has to raise funds to provide the services, but at the same time, it needed to be a bit predictable. So what the government did is that they went out with a tax policy, which might very well become law, so that these are the kind of taxes that you expect to encounter over a 10 or 15-year period. So it makes it predictable. Thirdly is infrastructure, and we've discussed that in a bit of detail a few minutes ago. And fourthly is human resource. Are you able to get the people that you need to provide the quality that you're looking to provide as an investor? And fifth is the supplies. What is available here? And everything is available. The electricity is stable. In fact, we have idle capacity in terms of electricity. The demand, the supply is higher than the demand. You can find anything you want in terms of produce, any food stuff, any meat, anything you want, you can find here. The water supply is steady and stable. And generally the weather is perfect. So you find that it's very, very easy to make that decision. And that's what investors are really looking at. The macro environment is very important. Our organization monitors policy, and where we see that there could be an issue, we address with government in good time. We monitor the laws coming up, and we speak to government and advise that this particular law here might not be very good for investment. So because we are looking at the cost of doing business, the ease of doing business, and that's what investors are looking at. And I think they'll be able to find it here. Right.
You mentioned previously the growth in the internationally branded hotels in Nairobi. So I'm quite proud to say that FHS Africa played quite a pivotal role in matchmaking the investors, the developers, operators, and consultants to make that happen. So from the FHS. Yeah, so from the FHS Africa standpoint, we very excited to come back to Kenya, have a look at what the environment looks like on the ground there, in terms of the tourism rebrand, the move away from its reliance on safari and bush to MICE, digital nomads. I think you're also looking to brand as a digital nomad destination. So we're really keen to hear about that. And Mike, thank you very much for your time. Really appreciate your insight. And we look forward to seeing you at FHS Africa in Nairobi on the 31st of March and the 1st of April this year.
I've already signed up, so I'll be there. Yeah. Thanks. Nice speaking to you, Roy.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.